Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is MundaneChats, and I know my last video was about YouTube and how they're trying to kind of like deal with the content that's there and the advertising that happens. This particular story, while not directly connected, does feel ancillarily, if that's a word, connected. So we learned that Group 9, which is a company that owns SourceFed, SourceFed Nerd, and other YouTube channels, have decided to scuttle the aforementioned channels. Now, SourceFed and SourceFed Nerd were created a few years ago by Philly D. I'm sure you all know who Philly D is. If you don't, he is a highly respected news commentator on YouTube, a fantastic person, and honestly, one of the creators. I truly enjoy watching his content every single day. And that's not me trying to suck his dick. I really do like the guy. Philly D, if you're at VidCon, hit me up. No, I'm kidding. Hit me up. Anyway, so the decision to shut this down has kind of sent shockwaves through the creator community because a lot of people out there are starting to see the result of the investment into these particular channels, right? A lot of YouTube channels were kind of built up or bought and sold a number of years ago that were offshoots of popular creators. SourceFed, like I said, created by Philly D. He handpicked the people who first originally were hosting the shows on there. Then they brought SourceFed Nerd. And the content that is now is very different than the content that was then. And that has a lot to do with the change of management, the change of ownership. A lot of these corporate sponsored channels have started to die off. And this also has a lot to do, I think, with like maker studios killing 10,000 contracts in order just to keep the top 300 because the bottom 10,000 don't even earn anywhere near as much as that top few percent because of the disparagement between, or the disparity between the subscribers and views and everything else. So they know that they're going to get more money and have to deal with less bullshit in the long run. And that's probably what's happening here, especially in the case of Group 9. But Group 9 is actually shifting what it's doing. It's axing the other two channels, right? And probably more to come. Probably many more corporate backed channels are going to die because the cost is too much, right? Renting spaces in LA, the overhead is just not there. There are a lot of people lately that have been complaining that views are down across the board. Money is not coming in as much, as I mentioned with like, Disney and Maker and everything. But when it comes to Group 9, they also have Now This, Thrillist, and Dodo. And Now This is huge on Facebook. It's huge on Facebook. And it has like 10 million fans on there and gets a lot of shares, a lot of traction. And I'm pretty sure that Facebook is probably going to start offering them monetization on those shares. Facebook has been trying for a long time to get into the video marketplace. And with a few select channels, they're going to be making money by sharing videos. People like me don't upload our videos to Facebook because we don't make money on them. They haven't given us the option to make money on them. And so to us, it's just wasted, right? But to companies like Now This and others, they clearly make a lot of splash there. And I think a lot of it also is moving over into Snapchat. A lot of stuff's happening with Snapchat. This stuff isn't necessarily related, but that's another big one that's coming out that a lot of content is being made for. I think like a few like serialized TV shows are being developed for Snapchat, right? Because again, it's just the trend of things. It's just the focus on that particular aspect. It is very much keeping up with the Joneses and chasing after this sort of thing. And you can see that it's also where the millennials are going. BuzzFeed has dropped 20% of its viewers in the last year, even though NBC Universal keeps trying to invest money into BuzzFeed and they have a very good relationship with Facebook. It's still not doing as well. So so like I said, Snapchat, they're all going to fucking Snapchat. So it's very interesting to see what's going to happen next. To a person like me, I'm not going to be necessarily affected by this. In fact, if anything, this benefits me, to be honest with you, because people who go to SourceFed Nerd for their news or their information on gaming or movies or whatever, people like me who cover pop culture and social events and anything else, our views might increase because people are still going to be looking for the content. But then again, they're also trying to appeal to the millennial audience that uses like their mobile device for everything. And so that's why they want to focus on Snapchat, because that is still the social platform for younger people. And they feel like that's going to be bringing about brand loyalty and ultimately more earnings. So they're going to be so basically they're closing this stuff down to open up funding avenues for those projects, which is unfortunate because there are good people that are going to be losing their jobs. But at the same time, to be fair, those people who already have personalities on YouTube, they have their own content on YouTube, they all have their own channel. And as a result, they're just going to go back to their own channel and they're going to go freelance for a while, probably kick open a Patreon, probably make some money that way until they can sign on with another company that's going to be looking for established online commentary talent or stars or whatever, and use that as a way to keep themselves going, because it's going to get way crazy. So even though the CEO of YouTube said that by 2019, 95% of all internet traffic is going to be video related, we're in a paradigm shift right now where the money is moving around. It's not heavily focused on YouTube, because keep in mind that SourceFed and SourceFed Nerd ultimately were created through the YouTube Originals program, which YouTube gave, I forget how much money, but it was a lot of money to create this kind of original content. And then it dried up and people had businesses to run that had funding that wasn't coming in anymore. And that's one of the reasons why Philly D had to sell off SourceFed to Discovery and Rev3, which ultimately had Rev3 Games, which was led by Adam Sessler, which was closed down. I mean, you see these things have been happening for a while. This is just a big one this week. I think also Tasty went down, if I'm remembering that correctly. I could be wrong. It's just interesting to see where we're at. And it's interesting to see where we're going. And so, like I said in my last video about YouTube kind of cracking down on what kind of content's there, if you like these people and these channels and these kind of corporate-backed shows, follow them on social media. Engage with them there. That's where you're going to get the up-to-date information, and you're going to be able to keep up on what's going on. And that's the best course of action. So anyway, what do you guys think about this? Is getting rid of these corporate-backed shows on YouTube for the best? Would you prefer more homegrown entertainment, stuff like myself or Philly D, so on and so forth? These are things I'm curious about. So go ahead and write them down in the comments below. If you haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, check out my vlog channel and my movie news channel, and I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.